Welcome to another episode of GQ Speaks, your go-to platform for insightful conversations, captivating stories, and thought-provoking discussions. GQ is a series of experiences, and we're just making sense of that as we go along. That is what we're doing here, one conversation at a time. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into our episode. Somewhere out there, a small pink plushie has seen more of the world than most people ever will. It has stood in the shadow of the Petronas Towers. It has sat in lecture halls at GQ. It has turned up in cities across multiple continents. A small pink toy in the corner of the frame with the whole world behind it. Almost 1,000 people follow it, yet nobody knows who carries it. Not their name, not their face, not their year, not even their major. And how do they even keep slipping a bright pink puffball past everyone without a single person noticing? So who does this? And why? For almost 4 years now, no one could really get an answer. Until now. Well, we at GQ Speaks decided to take matters into our own hands, and after all this time, we finally got our hands on the plushie. So first time ever, an exclusive, we present to you.
Kirby! Kirby! Lolo, la la la. Lola! Growing up, I used to play a specific game called Kirby Air Riders on the GameCube with my siblings. It became a core memory for me, and I love the way it makes me feel. Kirby is part of Nintendo, and I've always loved almost everything Nintendo creates. Another favorite game of mine is Kirby Star Allies, which came out in 2018 on the Switch. Not only do I get to play as Kirby, but I can also play as other characters, each with their own unique abilities. I feel like Kirby represents me in many ways. I won't get into the details, but we share similar personality traits. At school, my classmates used to say that I looked like I was daydreaming 24/7. I would joke and say I was in dreamland, that's where Kirby lives, but they wouldn't get it. LOL. What's not to love about Kirby? Even if you don't know his backstory, he's literally the sweetest looking pink puffball out there. There are so many memories attached to Kirby for me. Also, coming back from Japan and seeing how popular Kirby is there made me love him even more. I got the motivation to start this during COVID. When we were in lockdown, I found myself thinking about all the things I'd always wanted to do but never actually did. Pre-pandemic, whenever I traveled, I'd always want to take Kirby with me. But I could never be bothered to carry him around. I'd always say, next time. Then 2020 happened, and we were forced to stay at home, and it completely changed the way I feel about procrastination. So at first, I started taking him to places around Qatar with me. Then, when I got the opportunity to travel properly again, I took him everywhere. The first place I took him was MOQ. I still remember how empty it was because it was a weekday during COVID. I had to pull out my Adaraz app, and then I took a photo of him next to the main fountain area. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring him to uni, but I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I just did it. Initially, I wanted the account to be focused on the Kirby community worldwide, but after posting at GUQ, the account slowly gained more followers from my peers and others in QF, much faster than actual Kirby fans, so I just accepted it, leaned into it, and enjoyed it. Yes, I literally have to remind myself to take Kirby with me because I once traveled to a country and forgot him in Qatar. What a bummer, especially since I don't think I'll be going back there anytime soon. I usually just keep him in my bag because he's too big to fit in my hoodie, jacket, or trouser pockets. I'm much more attentive to my surroundings because of Kirby. I always make sure no one who might recognize him or anyone related to QF is around when I take him out for a quick photo. It's always a bit risky, but the thrill makes it fun, I can't lie. I especially love it when I'm in an empty area because there's no pressure and I can take my time with the photos. There were two funny, not so funny stories, and they both happened in Qatar. The first one was at the World Cup. It was me and my cousin's first match, and I was going through security. I had Kirby hidden in my bag, and when my bag was being searched, security took it out and started analyzing it. I was so embarrassed because the line completely stopped, and they kept asking me questions about it in front of everyone while waving it around. Apparently, a week before, someone had been caught sneaking in alcohol and other things hidden inside items, so they were like, maybe there's something inside this plush. I was like, what? It was so obvious they'd just brought in this security team from somewhere random, and it was probably their first day because they genuinely didn't seem to know what they were doing. Eventually, they let us go, and I had to pretend to be annoyed at my younger sibling for putting it in my bag so my cousins wouldn't get suspicious. By the way, I have all my family blocked from this account, so it never shows up on their feed. The second one was during the food festival in Qatar. Oh my God, it was such a mistake to take Kirby out during the fireworks and drone shows. I had placed myself in a really strategic corner so I wouldn't end up in anyone's background. At first I wasn't worried because I thought everyone would be focused on the fireworks, right? Right? Wrong. After I took Kirby out, I realized I wouldn't be able to get a proper photo unless I used night mode. So I turned around just to make sure I was safe, and suddenly I saw someone literally recording me. He quickly turned his camera away and pretended nothing happened. I ran up to him and told him to delete the video. Turns out he was on TikTok Live. I was actually about to faint. I told him to end the live, delete the footage, everything. Thank God he listened and wasn't being weird about it. I reminded him that you can't just record people like that, and then I disappeared. The whole week after that, I was stressed because I had no idea how many people might have seen it. My face was definitely visible while I was holding Kirby, but thankfully, nothing happened, so I knew I was in the clear. Other times, when I'm abroad and in a public space, people see me taking pictures of Kirby and usually just smile or laugh, but that's about it. I've never really had an actual interaction, maybe because I'm really quick with it. I always check my surroundings first and make sure no one familiar is around. It's been almost 5 years now, and I've never been caught. Alhamdulillah. Hopefully, it stays that way. When I first brought Kirby to uni, before anything happened, I wasn't worried at all about taking pictures of him. Obviously, I would still be careful. But after that, especially when everyone was trying to figure out who I was, I would genuinely get so nervous and not know how to act. I'd get paranoid that someone in a corner could see me without me noticing them, and then I'd get exposed. But the relief and rush I felt afterwards is a feeling I'll never forget. The adrenaline rush would skyrocket. At one point, a student, I won't mention his name, messaged me saying he was in the security camera room and that he was going to find out who I was. He even sent a photo to prove he was there. I knew it was probably a joke, but I was still really scared. It's been years now, though, so I guess I managed to get away scot-free. Yes, I wanted my identity to remain hidden. I feel like if people knew who I was, there would be judgments or all sorts of interpretations, which is something I didn't want at all. The anonymity gives me a sense of freedom. I can post without being boxed into a specific identity, and I don't feel judged. It allows my followers to simply enjoy the world I'm creating, the stories, the posts, and the creative side, without focusing on who I am. If people knew who I was, it would change the experience for me and for everyone else. It's really not that deep. LOOOL. I just want to share my life through Kirby's eyes. I don't think there's another account like that in Qatar, so I thought I might as well be the first. It's just a nice perspective, seeing a Kirby plush travel the world and live in Qatar. Yes, the account will continue, inshallah. Whatever happens with Kirby, you guys will always be updated. And the OG plush will stay at GUQ for future Hoyas to know the urban legend. The anonymity gives me a sense of freedom. I can post without being boxed into a specific identity, and I don't feel judged. It allows my followers to simply enjoy the world I'm creating, the stories, the posts, and the creative side, without focusing on who I am. I don't have the urge to reveal myself at all. On the contrary, I want to stay anonymous forever. It's run by one person. I know. Shocking. So many people came up with so many theories of how this account has several people running it, but that's completely false. It's funny because sometimes I hear them swearing that they know who's running the account, and I'm just there grinning in the corner. My biggest struggle would definitely be to not get caught. I have many curious, nosy people around me who made it their job to try and bust me. I just want to know why they feel like they have to know who's behind the account. It's going to be much easier for me now since I graduated. Catch me if you can. Another struggle would be actually carrying Kirby around. He takes up a chunk of space, so it can be an inconvenience sometimes. But it's fine for me, Lul. At first, it was hard. I was clumsy and not as careful. But now, I mastered the process, and I'm much quicker and more efficient with it. Next destination is Euro Summer. Stay updated for details on my Insta, but my dream destination is to see the Northern Lights in any of the Scandinavian countries or the Philippines. I feel like everyone is super friendly. My favorite destination would definitely be Japan, and Mount Fuji would be favorite place in Japan. I don't really have a worst, but the place I had least fun in would be Germany. Definitely not opposed to going back, though. I'm not sure of the exact number, but somewhere around 30 countries. But who's counting? Uni days were great, honestly. I'm going to really miss it. Sure, it was stressful at times, but I had so much fun. I made some friends along the way that I can call family now. Very grateful to them for making my undergrad experience 10 times better. Since I graduated already, I'm still trying to figure out life out, to be honest. I got my first Kirby plush from Forbidden Planet in London. Sword Kirby! Of course, he's my favorite. That is when I enter the workforce, currently figuring life out. I might take a gap year, or I might do my master's. My favorite restaurant in Doha would probably be Noda Blue and Liang. Thank you.
For almost 4 years now, a small pink plushie has traveled around the world in someone's bag. Through 30 countries, past airport security, into lecture halls, food festivals, and the quiet corners of cities most of us have never seen. And the whole time, it was one person carrying it, checking over their shoulder, waiting for the room to empty to take the photo and then disappear before anyone could ask. We still don't know their name. Trust us, we tried, but maybe that was never the point. Because somewhere along the way, it stopped being about a plushie. It became a way of seeing, of noticing the world a little more closely, of finding wonder in a place just because you brought something small and pink along to share it with. The account goes on, the traveling goes on, and the original Kirby now gets to stay here at GQ so that every Hoya who comes after gets to wonder just a little about the pink puffball that saw the world. Catch it around if you can. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of GQ Speaks. We hope you've gained valuable insights and inspirations from our conversation today. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to follow us on our Instagram page at GQ_speaks and be sure to leave a review on Spotify to show your support.